Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into the YouTube channel. The Tournament Ramblings video I did last week at Kentucky Lake for the Bassmaster Open got some good views, and man, the comments, you guys are so kind. I certainly appreciate all the kind words, well wishes, and I had good news because on day 2 I had a great day. I caught 18 pounds 7 ounces and jumped from 88th all the way to 35th, and really I needed that. That was the tournament that I needed. I have had a bit of a rough start to the season. Didn't cash a check in the first event that I fished, and then I cashed a check in the second one, and then missed the check in the third one by 2 spots. Weighed 3 fish in that event, and then went to Rayburn. Of course, I had the flu before that event, so I missed practice completely. But I ended up weighing 3 fish in that event, and I was like, 3 fish first day at Kentucky Lake, this can't go on. And so to have a limit that weighed 18.7, what a blessing from the Lord. Super thankful for that. And it shot me up to 35th. They pay the top 45. Got a check, really a blessing. And wanted to share some of the things that I was thinking about that day. I really went out that morning just thinking, I'm gonna just do the best that I possibly can. There's nothing else that I can do. I can't be concerned about what happened yesterday. I'm gonna go out, enjoy God's creation, and make the best decisions that I possibly can. And a couple things that really went my way, I wanted to kind of share with you guys. And I was gonna do a tournament video recap from that event. I've got some footage that I need to edit, but I have guide trips this whole week except for Friday, and just no time to do that with being on the water daylight to dark, or not daylight to dark, but from daylight to about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. So I just wanted to do a Tournament Ramblings follow-up to that event, and just to kind of give some insight as to what happened. The wind actually turned and came out of the south and southeast, and it just blew right up the pipe of Kentucky Lake, and it blew straight into my primary bank. And that primary bank really, I feel like, fired up those fish. I went in there, and it took me a few minutes, and I caught my first fish, and I was thankful because I was like, I think on day 1 I had my first fish at like 10 or maybe 11 o'clock, and to have one in the box by 9, I was like, we're already ahead of the game. Super cool the way that worked out. Bummer of a thing though, I was swinging that fish into the boat, and he came off in the air, thankfully landed in the boat, but the bait came up and hit my finger and broke the bill off of it. So I had to sit down and retie, and took me a bit of some time, and there's a whole nother story to that. But at any rate, I got back up, and there was some local anglers fishing in the same area, and there was another tournament competitor that did really well in the same section that I was fishing. So really there was quite a bit of traffic there, but I was like, you know what, this is where I want to fish. I'm not going to get derailed by extra boat traffic in the area. So I just adjusted by starting up the boat and going back up to the top and then coming back down, and really being intentional in the way that I placed my lure, made quality presentations the best that I could, and fished it from different angles. And really the mindset that I had was, I'm gonna torch this place. And what I mean by that is, I'm gonna catch everything that I possibly can, because the reality is, if I don't catch them well enough to fish on Championship Saturday, it won't matter if I have any fish to come back to. So I just put my head down, fished really hard, fished multiple angles, made quality presentations to the best of my ability, and fished smart in and around the other traffic that was in the area. I came through one time, and I think I almost had my limit at that point, and then I doubled back, and I caught my biggest bass, which was one that had to be right around 5, and then followed up with like another high 3 or 3.5 pound smallie. So that was super cool. So then after some time in that area, really that was it. I just was like, okay, you've hit this pretty hard. You're not getting any other bites. I lost one other fish that felt big, but I couldn't dwell on it. So I said, I'm gonna fish my way back to takeoff, because I was like 30 miles away from takeoff. So I was running my Ranger Alpha 208. This aluminum boat just handled those big waves like a champion. Started running back, and looked for areas where the wind was blowing into them, because I was trying to duplicate what I had already established, and areas that also had a bit of a current break. That was also key to trying to get those bites. Pulled up on one point, caught one, cold it out, had another one on, it came off. Fishing a crankbait, treble hooks, that kind of stuff happens. And then it was quite a long time before I got my next bite, and I just kept bouncing my way back, hitting stuff that looked high percentage and it looked like I could catch a fish on, and made myself almost halfway back to takeoff and caught another one. Unfortunately, it didn't cull. And then I was recognizing that it was going to take me a while back, because I couldn't just run flat out. There was enough wind and waves that I had to take my time and negotiate the angles and be smart about running my way back to takeoff. I got back to takeoff and fishing right there towards the end, caught another 3-pound smallie, culled out my smallest one, and made it into weigh-in. So it was super cool how that all worked out. I just tried to fish smart, and the Lord blessed me with some of the bigger fish that I needed that seemed to be missing on day one, and I was able to put them in the boat on day 2. So I felt like I needed to do a Tournament Ramblings report, just because of all the great responses and comments that y'all shared. That's it for now. Thank you for tuning into the channel. I really appreciate you guys in this community. If you aren't aware, I've got some merch, Team Niggemeyer Fishing, hats, shirts, hoodies, decals, and stuff like that. So check that out. I'll put a link in the description. Also, check out my social channels. There'll be a link there in the description as well. That's really the best way to kind of keep up with what's going on a more day-to-day or even moment-by-moment type of standpoint. Until next time, thanks for watching, and good fishing.